Welcome to 10 Women, bringing together 10 women with 10 thought-provoking questions based on one theme.
During this episode of 10 Women, we'll hear 10 different answers to this question. What if we could level up as we age? Every new decade we survive, we unlock new abilities and opportunities. What would that look like?
We wanted to have a fun, creative question to see where folks would go with it. We heard a lot of creative answers.
I think for every decade that I survive, I should be able to get 2 new joints from my body. Like, you're now 60, you get 2 new knees. Now you're 70, you get 2 new shoulders.
Oh, I do like that. Can we do that, please?
Yes, please. Poof.
For me, I think I want to have more brain processing. So as I've gotten a little older, it takes me a little longer to access things in my brain. I think I need better storage and more RAM. I essentially want to have an upgrade every decade so I can actually remember things clearly and find information. I feel like a lot of times my little brain librarian is having to work way overtime to find the things that he needs to. Before we hear the 10 answers, remember to take a moment to think about your own answer to this question.
What if we could level up as we age? Every new decade we survive, we unlock new abilities and opportunities. What would that look like? And don't forget that we want to hear your answers too. Follow our 10 Women series on Instagram to share your thoughts and to read the responses of others in our community. Visit our website to find other ways to connect.
My name is Ann Sparks-Baumgardner, and I am a caregiver. I'm a member of a women's organization that I'm very passionate about. I am a cyclist. I'm a road cyclist, and I love being out of doors. Let's see. It might be trying things that I have said in the past I would never do, and maybe learning how to dance or relearn how to play the piano or do something that I would have in the past said, no, I can't do that. But being more open and willing to try new things and maybe try foods that are, a little bit out of my comfort zone. But I think I would never have thought I could drive all the way across the country by myself, but I have. And I would 10 years ago I wouldn't have done it. So
I am Leanna Martin, and I am an aunt, a daughter, and a friend. Well, one thing, some stuff you already get as you get older. You get the ability to be unbothered about things that you used to be bothered by. That is the leveling up that I think you get anyway. And sometimes you get where older people get a free pass to say things and do things, and you're like, they're old so they can do that. I long for that ability to sometimes say what's on my mind, and people be like, it's fine, she's old. So it's I can't wait till I get to that age, but until then. So what other things can we get? I feel like instead of getting weaker, you should get stronger as you get older. As you endure things, you do emotionally get stronger, but physically, it's you shouldn't get weaker and have less energy. You should get more. The more life you live, the stronger you should be. You should be able to go all day, sleep less, because you're older, but yeah, unfortunately, it's not like that.
My name is Abigail Dunn Moses, and I am an educator of adults who heals the brokenhearted. What it looks like is my ability to ask the most cogent questions under different circumstances. And in many circumstances, having to play the truth teller. What I'm trying to level up to now is balance that with diplomacy. And it's not that I don't have the choice in my head, but I perceive that sometimes the more diplomatic route is not effective. It's all very difficult because anytime that you're willing to take the risk to ask the most cogent question that needs to be discussed, there's social risk there. And so I'm at the point now where I'm not as willing to always take the risk like I used to. It practically kills me, but you ask the question, who am I to me, right? That's when Abigail, shut up, keep your mouth closed, give people an opportunity to have their own experiences. You know, I think that's moving towards wisdom, moving in the right direction. Not quite there yet, but I at least want it.
My name is Judy Fowler. I am an educator, a mom, and a team player. That was, the question's great. Like, this one is the toughest one when I have to think about, like, a path for this one to anticipate where I'm going to think I'm going with this answer. You know, when I think about leveling up, and my kids are so into Pokemon and Legos, right? But the Pokemon thing is real. But now that I'm in my 50s, I wonder how shiny my card would be and what extra powers or how many more points do I get for life experiences. You know, maybe we get this basic card, and my son is going to be so disappointed that he has taught me all these things and I cannot recall the different names and levels of Pokemon. So sorry, Jack. If you're listening to this, I hope you just appreciate that I'm using the Pokemon analogy to begin with. But I just know when he tries to teach us the game, I remember the original, he's like, well, this, and you know, you get to a certain point and you do these certain things. You just had this battle, and you won, so you got a new card. And it's like, oh, whoa, this one actually has rainbows on it. Yay, I like rainbows. And, you know, with each stage, or even during our work week, I think we all level up in some ways too when we think about this. But I think every time it would be like I would level up like the Pokemon card. It'd be bigger, it'd be much shinier, and I would have more points. But it's also, what are those extra tools in the toolbox that allows you to level up to begin with, right? So if it is being able to manage your peace, if it is being able to cook a better meal, you know, whatever it is, the battle of getting my kids to eat certain foods, you know, like, so it'd be like, I think, honestly, the tools in the toolbox that what we need for living, but also it's almost like these also other magical powers that we wish we had, which is, you know, different words to influence so you wouldn't have to have as many stressful conversations about certain things, you know, as we do go through life. But I think I would have the best Pokemon card deck ever. Being where I am in life. So I have to say that's probably the leveling up. I think I'd have bigger wings. I'd have a more fierce mane, you know, like if I could think about Pokemon characters evolving, that's totally what would happen as I would level up. The kids have all these stuffed animals, and there's actually, thankfully, there's a Pokemon brushing your teeth app. So you get to brush, and at times, but you get to evolve, you get the Pokeball. I mean, it's a thing. Like, so I don't know. The kids like Grookey right now, so I have to say I'd be like Grookey because they just love Grookey. So I love the fact they want to nurture. So hopefully one day they'll be, you know, remembering to give me squeezes and, you know, remember to love on me like they do on Grookey.
My name is Marie Leonard, and I am a mom, a daughter, and an energetic lover of life. So the not PG version is, as I think every level up is like you just don't give a fuck. every time you're just like Because I just feel like as I've gotten older, there's just a lot of things I'm like, I don't care about that anymore. I just don't care about that anymore. Like, you just shed that, like, I just don't care. I'm surprised more senior citizens don't commit crime because, like, are we afraid of jail? I don't know. Because I don't care about a lot of things anymore, which is freeing, but also I was like, oh, wow, that could get scary. But I thankfully we are not opening up our life of crime era either, which is probably good. But yeah, there's just a lot of things I just feel like as I level up and grow older that my passions still remain. So there's comfort, I think, in that. There's like shedding things that I just don't need, that does not, like, let it go. I don't need that. And then accepting things, like my house is always going to be a little chaotic and a little cluttered. It's never going to be fashionable, and that's okay. So things like that just is a matter of like, of shedding and then accepting. And if I could really it would be really fun, like at 70 or 65, maybe, like right at retirement, to like finally win the lottery. That would be like a really cool level up, because it would just be fun to like do something extravagant, like a big trip or something that I've never been able to do. That would be fun. And then and on top of it, because I only have so much runway, like I can't hoard it all. So then just give it all away. And that would just be so fun to just figure out how to be like, let me take this. Okay, children, you can have a little something, but not so much because you have to have jobs. And then now let's give it all away.
My name is Susan Sassman, and I am an extrovert, a creative visionary, and a nurturing kind of gal. It would be a musical instrument, probably, that would come into my life. I don't know how to read music. I don't know how to play an instrument, but I'm surrounded by quite a few musicians in my life, songwriters and people who are in bands. And I remember earlier in my years when I made a pretend band, like in my 30s, I said to some girlfriends, we should start a band. And they said, well, we don't play any instruments. And I said, but we could. I mean, I could play drums maybe, and maybe you could play the piano. We should just, start taking it up, and then we could tour together. And then we thought about what would our outfits be like if we were touring. And who would be our agent? Is there somebody we know who could be an agent for us if we were able to really make this happen? And over the course of about a year, I would send out newsletters to these women about the fantasy band and how you doing with those, piano lessons? And do I need to send somebody over to help you? Because we've got the outfits ready and we've got the agent ready, and we're going to want to do a tour, a big one. So this just became kind of a playful little thing that never took off. But I could do that with cooking. I could decide to go to culinary school, and then when I get out of there, I could start teaching classes in my kitchen, and I would get children in and get them involved. And I have no shortage of imagination of what to do if you unlocked a skill, a language. If I learned to speak Italian, and then maybe I could do tours to Italy from Greensboro, and I could, do a deep dive into what goes on in Italy if you were a tour guide and spoke fluently. And, so I fantasize a lot about taking a skill like cooking or language or music and, pushing it up and out into what it would become. What I'm lacking is the follow through on that. I did get a ukulele during COVID, and I put a picture of myself on Facebook with that ook, and I was like, look out, world, because I'm going to play this ukulele, and I'm going to just knock it down. And I played for about 3 months, and I sang a little bit, and then I didn't, and then I put it away. And I see it every day, and I'm like, yeah, whatever happened with that ukulele? And maybe I'll pick it back up, I don't know. But I like that idea of unlocking a new talent and then bringing it up and a little higher, so that it's really in your face. And maybe I'll do that. I still have time. I'm not done yet. So, we'll see.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I am a gynecologist, bicyclist, and someone who loves life. Well, for one, my knees would be fixed. My hands wouldn't hurt anymore, and I'd be a little bit more pain-free than I am. I'd love it if I could just increase my IQ just a little bit so I can do some of those Wall Street Journal and New York Times puzzles a little bit easier. I want to get to genius every time, not just sometimes. I think that would be it. Be not just wisdom and knowledge, but like really being able to bend the brain in a different way, to be able to see things in a different way, and to see those patterns that you didn't see before. It's like the next meta level up. Like I do the crosswords regularly, so I got the New York Times crossword. Got that every day almost. That's not a big deal. The Wall Street Journal every Friday has a crossword that then has a puzzle on top of it. So once you solve the crossword, they ask you for a noun, a 5-letter noun, a famous person, a song from the 80s, and the only clues that you have to what it is that plus the title and whatever you can figure out the puzzle is saying. And I just can't get that. I just can't see into that level. So that would be like my next thing would be to say, okay, every 10 years or so, I get a little bit more of that unlocked. I have more brain power to be able to do that.
My name is Terry Wiggins, and I am a woman. I am a mother, and I am a daughter. Yes, it's really kind of an open, beautiful window here. Anything's possible, right? And I had a chance to go to India for 3 weeks about 4 years ago, and I loved that trip. It was with a group of people. We were kind of doing a spiritual trek up in northern India. And I love the culture, I love the food, I love the people, and it felt like home in a way. And I thought at that time, I might want to go back sometime and do volunteer work. I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years. Doing volunteer work overseas is not a big deal, so that's still in the back of my head. So that's something. Another thing I've done in the past, and I haven't done it for the past 4 to 5 years, is pottery, and I want to get back into that. I love feeling that clay and feels like earth and the creativity part of it. The other something that I've been very excited about is seeing people have homes. There's so many homeless people here, and so I've given a lot of thought to what that might look like, sustainable living. And I've thought about creating caves in hillsides. And then my daughter was just in Granada, Spain, and she said, oh, people have caves in hillsides and mountains, and they're beautiful. So I thought, wow, that would be fun. And then the other, I was in New Mexico and got a chance to visit an Earthship home. And again, very sustainable, partly under earth, gray water, window facing south. You have your garden right inside the home. Anyway, I got so excited about these ideas that's something I haven't put my energy towards yet, but it's there percolating. And I really want to be alive, to see the world shift into a more loving community where there's justice, equanimity, love, harmony, unity, all those things that the heart holds. I want to be alive to see that.
My name is Kimberly Burke, and I'm a human, a teacher, and a lover. This was another really hard question for me. I'm not a gamer, and I'm not good at imaginary situations. I think if I could gain one thing, it would be wisdom without the trauma that normally goes along with wisdom to get it. So as crazy as that sounds, my level up would be just more wisdom. In terms of opportunities, I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that. I'm still working, that's part of that work in progress, that I think about lots of opportunities that I should have taken, some of the biggest regrets I've ever had. So I don't know as if I always recognize opportunity. I've always taken the real practical, so it's hard for me to imagine what level up would be available to me.
My name is Abigail Seymour, and I am an entrepreneur, a lawyer, and an Enneagram 7. Oh, I would be able to talk to dead people. I'd be a medium. I've always wanted to be given that power and given that, just be touched with that, because I think it's something people are truly born with. And I always thought, is it something I can learn? Is it something I could do? But I'm very interested in that. I could talk about, past lives, and I love all those shows. I watch Long Island Medium, all that stuff is really interesting to me. And after my dad died, we hired worked with a medium, and it was fascinating. And I just kept thinking, I wish I could. So that would be a superpower gift to myself, was that I would just be a medium, and people would come over, and I'd say, oh, I'm hearing something from someone. Let me pass that along to you. I've got, no, he's saying he misses you. I would love to be able to do that. And it's never scared me. I mean, I know there's dark energy and all that stuff, but I've just always been oh yeah, I have a thing about hawks, and that, first of all, that's the other thing, I would be a falconer. It's my other past life. Not past life, but if I could ever say, I'm going to quit what I'm doing, I'm going to have a whole new life, I would become a falconer. I have no idea how I'd get paid. I have no idea what I would do with that, but I just want to own a hawk and have it be my pet. It's just nutty. I don't know why. But when I see them, I think for me, it's a message from my sister. So, and I see them all the time. I'll be driving down a 4-lane highway, and a hawk will come straight across, just my car. I'm there's all these other cars here. I always think, am I just imagining this? But it's it came right across me. I'm hey. So, yeah. My little hawk, my little spirit animals.
So coming back to our question, what if we could level up as we age? Every new decade we survive, we unlock new abilities and opportunities. What would that look like?
And how difficult was this question for you to answer? Be honest.
After you answer this question for yourself, think about reaching out to other women in your life for their answers.
Remember to share your answers with us in our 10 Women series on Instagram. We can't wait to read your answers. And speaking of answers, we've actually got some different answers on our Instagram page. That's because we asked all the women surprise questions to learn more about them. Join us on Instagram at 10 Women series to hear their answers.
We hope you will join us every Tuesday for a new episode wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. This series is distributed both as an audio-only and a YouTube video format to allow you to enjoy each episode your preferred way. Be sure to visit our website at www.sassyyam.com to learn more about this series and all the places you can find us. 10 Women is a production of Sassy Yam Media. Amy Brown and Sarah Howard, producers. Feel free to send us an email at sassyyammedia@gmail.com. Special thanks to the women of Season 1, Kimberly Burke, Judy Fowler, Michelle Horvath, Marie Leonard, Leanna Martin, Abigail Dunn Moses, Susan Sassman, Abigail Seymour, Ann Sparks Bumgaudner, and Terry Wiggins.